I am excited, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is really exciting.
Yeah.
Hello guys, and welcome to Natalie's Reptile Room. As always, this is your host, Natalie, and today we have what I would say is one of the coolest snakes we may ever have on this channel, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, he is exciting. So, like the title and thumbnail implies, is Daddy sitting here free-handling a venomous cobra?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. So today we are introducing you guys to Kai, our false water cobra. You get it?
Yeah.
Cobra, Kai?
This is our Kai cobra.
The name was actually recommended to us by a friend on a Snake Discovery fan page, Jenny, who she actually has a 4-year-old niece named Natalie.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Can you say hi to Natalie?
Hi.
Hi. But we definitely like the name and it's definitely stuck, so thank you.
And Kai has a beautiful pattern.
Yes, he does.
And a friend of ours showed a picture and her false water cobra had it much more blacker than his.
Oh yeah, I remember that. And what kind of snake is this?
A false water cobra.
False water cobra. And as always, we'd also like to thank our new subscribers, T&K Reptiles and Clint Danton, I think it was. But there are 2 new subscribers, so definitely thank you guys. Can you say thank you?
Thank you guys.
Thank you. But we did your favorite snake. Today we're doing what I would say is Daddy's favorite snake, right?
Yep. And
This
it's
guy.
the false water cobra.
That's right.
And I got this very cool new watch.
That's an awesome watch. I like that. It's nice and pink.
And I have like zebras.
And I do still love your little hognose snake, by the way.
Yeah.
Daddy I got a thing for false water cobras.
Yeah.
If you guys are on our Facebook group, Natalie's Reptile Room, you would have seen a couple weeks ago, Dad got a package. And I posted that picture, and this is him, the false water cobra. But what did you think of this guy when you first saw him?
I was so excited.
You're so excited?
Yeah.
He put the hood up and everything. He was awesome, wasn't he?
Guys, we do have, and it was him, and we had him for a very long time.
Yes. But ever since Daddy's seen one of these on, you remember the Snake Discovery channel? You remember that channel? We watch it all the time. But ever since Daddy's seen it on Snake Discovery and Clint's Reptiles, from the moment I seen it, I knew we needed one. I think it was actually after Clint met the one on Snake Discovery is when he got his false water cobra. But I can absolutely see why you would get a false water cobra. Can you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where you going, dude?
I don't know.
Although this is probably the closest me and Natalie will ever get to owning a real cobra,
And
this is not a cobra, right? It's not a real cobra.
Yeah.
So, as you can tell from the name, false water cobra.
And we did get a very, very awesome enclosure. He loves to go under that hide. Like every time we get him out, we look under his water bowl and then look under his hide. He's under his hide.
Always under that hide, right?
He loves it, just like my little girl.
So, from the name, false water cobra, why do you think they're named that?
Because they look like water, and they have very, very pretty.
That's kind of it. So with Kai here, what is the one thing that stands out when you see him?
His body.
His body, and what's he do with his neck?
Puts his head out.
He puts his hood up, just like a real cobra, right?
Yep.
That is pretty cool, isn't it?
But he isn't a cobra.
Not a real cobra.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's still awesome how he can do that, right?
Yeah. And it's really cool how he just wraps one hand really tight.
Oh, he's strong. He is definitely strong. You can feel it. He'll put you in like a figure eight real quick. These guys come from South America. In Brazil, they're actually called the Brazilian smooth snake. And do you know why they call them a smooth snake?
Because they don't really feel like a snake.
No, he is very smooth. They are all of the smooth.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've never held a snake that it feels like holding water.
Yeah.
It just feels like water running through your hands.
Yeah. And it feels like water is like going down your hand, and it feels like you're in a creek down in something that is not very good, and just wanders around your hand.
Yeah, and he just relaxes too, doesn't he?
But
These guys are a very large colubrid snake, with males getting up to about like 6 to 7 feet, and females getting up to 9 feet and even bigger. That is huge, isn't it?
yeah.
That's bigger than like the Brazilian rainbow boa gets. Way bigger than your little hognose snake is gonna get.
Yeah.
In captivity, these guys can live up to 12 to 20 years, so another long-living snake, right?
Mhm.
He's gonna be around when you go to college.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take him with you? You better. Scare all of your roommates and stuff with a giant snake.
No.
No?
They'll probably be like, why does he have a huge snake there?
They probably think it's a cobra.
Yep, because
He plays the part, doesn't he? The false water cobras have a pretty good reputation for being a pretty docile snake. And Kai is certainly docile, isn't he?
Mhm.
I mean, he'll hood up occasionally when we like go in and out of the room. When we first got him, he would hood up pretty frequently. But now he'll hood up if we like walk by his enclosure, but he has never taken a strike at me, has never even attempted it, has he?
Yeah, no.
So he's been pretty good, and he'll just chill right in your hand, doesn't he?
Yeah, and since he had that pretty tail, my little girl had the tail just like him.
So one cool little mannerism that we've also noticed with him, and we've also noticed it in the snake discovery video and Clint's reptiles video, where they like to stick their tail, the end of their tail, straight out. Remember when he does that? His tail just pokes straight out.
Yeah.
I don't even know what he does it for. The only thing I can think of is maybe to balance himself.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, and he like, maybe it's to hold him steady,
yeah.
because he don't want to fall, right?
That's what he does.
Well, right now he ain't poking the tail out. Right now he's using it as like a hook. He's got it hooked in. But look at him looking at you. It's like, whoa, what is this little thing? Now, on to the second part of our original question. Are these guys venomous?
Yes.
Yes, they are. And like Natalie just mentioned, they are venomous. They are rear fang venomous, which if you guys watched our hognose snake video, your little girl is rear fang venomous too, right?
Yeah, but if they bite, won't kill you.
Exactly. Now, them just being rear fang venomous doesn't make them any less dangerous. There's the boom slang, which they're rear fang venomous, and they can kill you.
Yeah.
They have very potent venom.
Yeah.
Totally unlike our false water
And
cobra
just
here.
like we did have him a very long time ago.
So these guys produce a type of hemotoxin, which hemotoxin attacks like the circulatory system, muscle tissue, and can cause like hemorrhaging and necrosis in their prey. I would hate to be their prey, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't even sound good.
Yeah. That even sound good.
That's basically like eat you from the inside out.
Yeah.
Ugh. The worst documented case from one of these guys was like general swelling and irritation around the bite. No one has ever died from a false water cobra bite, right?
Yeah.
Never.
But they are real fang venomous, just like Daddy said.
Correct, rear fang venomous. Now, although he is super docile for a snake, these guys also have a reputation for being pretty darn food aggressive. And we just got a first-hand experience of that, didn't we?
Yeah. So we torn feeded him. We put him out by thing where we was hiding, in this hideout where we was hiding, and he came flapping out of his cage.
Yes, he did. Because remember, we had the mouse in there, and then he lost the mouse.
Yeah.
And when we brought the tongs out of his enclosure, he still had the scent. And I mean, he came out mouth wide open, ready to eat whatever landed in his mouth, right?
Yep.
He was ready for dinner.
And guess what? He tried to flip his mouth over and eat it sideways.
Oh, the mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know to eat him head or butt first. He tries to eat him from the side.
He tried to look at his neck.
Oh, is he hooding up a little bit there?
No, look at the bottom. He has a pretty cool pattern on the bottom.
Now, with all of this dangerousness out of the way, let's move on to his enclosure. So, as a very large snake, he's going to need a very large enclosure, right?
Yes.
For a snake that can get up to 9-10 feet, that's pretty big. So he's going to need something pretty big, right?
Yes.
What do you think size he's going to need?
Probably like this.
He's doing the tail thing, where he sticks his tail out.
And probably like this big.
Huge. So at a minimum, you're going to want something at least 5 feet long, like 3 feet wide, and 2 feet tall.
Yes.
The bigger, definitely the better, because you want to give them lots of room in that enclosure, right?
Yes.
And you're going to want to add things for like enrichment, just like we got all your little Savannah monitor stuff.
Yeah.
That's all stuff that he can play with, and
guess what? It's this big.
oh, we haven't even set it up yet, but it's going to be huge, right? Throughout his enclosure, you're going to want to put stuff that he can hide in, just like his hide, right?
Yes.
So when they're full grown and they're very large, they're going to need a very large water area, something that they can fit their entire body in and soak in. Because false water cobra kind of implies he likes water, right?
Yes, he does.
I think he does. But their enclosure is going to need a hot side and a cold side, right? Because snakes are what-blooded?
Cold-blooded.
And they need to thermoregulate their bodies, which means if they need to warm up a bit, they go and look for a hot side. If they need to cool down a bit, they go to their cool side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they need a basking spot of like 90 to 95 degrees. That's a place like right under the light that is hotter. And the cool side should taper down to like 80 to 85 degrees, right?
Yes.
Nighttime temperatures never going below like 70, 72 degrees, right?
Yes.
Yes. And then UVB lighting, unlike a lot of other snakes, is preferred for these guys. So do you know what UVB lighting is?
Huh?
Do you know what UVB lighting is? Kinda. That's what we got in your Savannah monitors enclosure, is UVB is kind of like, because they're not outside in the wild anymore, you have to provide light that kind of brings the sun into their enclosure. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Kind of. So obviously coming from Brazil, they come from some tropical areas, so you're gonna wanna keep the humidity up between like 60 and 70% throughout their enclosure. But some of these tropical places that they come from, I would love to go to like a rainforest or something, right?
Yeah, and he does look really, really mad.
He looks mad.
Yeah.
He kind of's got a mad look.
He like...
It's those like streaks he's got behind his eyes, right?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like he's an angry boy.
Yeah.
An angry boy. Finally on to diet. What does this little guy eat?
Mouse.
Mouse, mice, right?
Yeah.
But you are absolutely correct. They feed on mice. Now the water in their name, they like to hang out by water areas in the wild. And fish is actually a big part of their diet as well.
Yeah.
We haven't fed him any fish though yet.
Yeah.
But that's something maybe we can try for him.
Yeah. And me and Daddy went to the creek and we actually found a gardener snake and we found some fishies.
Oh yeah, check out our snake adventure video. We're going to be doing another one of those here soon since it's finally warming up, right?
Yeah, and we are going to have a picnic with you guys.
Maybe we'll take him with us. So Kai here is doing absolutely awesome with eating. He's eaten every single week, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yes, and That's always a huge concern with us when getting a new reptile. Unless you like know the breeder, they can tell you that they're eating great, but you really won't know until you get them.
Yes.
Good thing he has been though.
Yeah.
He's doing awesome. Alright guys, so that does it for Kai, the false water cobra. If you guys enjoyed this video or learned something new, make sure to leave us a like. And don't forget to subscribe because next week we're getting into a new little mini-series, right?
And I forgot to tell you, me and Daddy have a huge enclosure. A huge enclosure for my Savannah.
And we gotta start building it, right?
Yeah. And I just learned how to wink and my tooth.
And she's got her first loose tooth.
And
So you're gonna let Daddy pull it out with pliers, right?
no! I'm keeping it and it's gonna fall out by itself.
It'll fall out by itself.
But I'm gonna have to sleep like this because I don't want to accidentally swallow it.
Yeah. Alright guys, well, we'll see you on Wednesday for our next episode of Coolest Reptiles from Around the World.
Yeah, so bye guys!
Bye guys.